Alrighty, hello. I hope everyone is doing pretty good so far. It has been quite a while since I recorded any of these, so to speak, kind of fit tips. I know I tried or I did them quite a few months ago at this point on my channel. But I had the thought today to basically talk about something that has come up a lot during this week. And that is essentially people getting stuck or frustrated in terms of their, like with their workouts or with their program, to not be able to stay consistent with that stuff. Depending on what your everyday life looks like, essentially. So I just want to hop on here and just say a few things about that. So if you've been basically in the boat, like I'm sure there's many of you out there, including myself, with that, where you sometimes feel like you want to work hard to accomplish whatever your goals or your desires are, be it in the gym, maybe stuff with work, and things in private life with your family, but find a very hard time to make all of that work at the same time, because it sounds stereotypical, but we all only have 24 hours in a day, right? So it really kind of boils down to how we, I guess, end up managing that time. So what I have found over the past, let's say 4 months, especially leading up to my recent powerlifting competition a couple weeks ago now, well, what I've found is that the most important thing is to have a very kind of a clear outlook as to what you really want. Because it might sound a little harsh, but if you're trying to do too much shit at the same time, you're not going to be able to really make a big dent in multiple things. And so I think, as a rule of thumb, you're doing too much if you feel like you can't do it all, because in the end that's really what it is, because you haven't really made up your mind as far as what you're actually trying to go for, right? So if you are balancing, like I said, workouts, work, and family, and you're having a hard time, let's say, progressing in your workouts, be it working on strength, kind of trying to beef up a little bit more, or losing weight, whatever it is, that if one of those components has to take a back seat, then it's just too much, basically. So I think from my own experience that it's better to really make up your mind and kind of have the biggest thing to shoot for the most. So for example, if you are really trying to lift a heavy weight, so my favorite example, okay, so if you're trying to set a new PR, let's say on deadlift, okay, and you say you want to get that, if you start now and you want to get that, let's say by, I don't know, let's say by the end of this year. So you have roughly 2 months-ish, a month and a half, a little bit more than that, but that's your number one goal. Pretty much everything you do, and it allows it with your lifestyle, with your schedule, like this is what you want to do, then that is going to take up the majority of your time. So you're going to make sure you sleep enough, you're going to make sure you get all your food in, hopefully your program is on point, you're not going to miss any workouts. That's one example. So if ultimate strength output, if that's your goal, then that's what you need to focus on. And if that means that you can't go with friends on a weeknight maybe for dinner because it would go too late and you wouldn't have enough time to sleep, then that's the decision you're going to have to make. And so in terms of the time management, it's very annoying to see how, or to kind of read and hear about it everywhere on social media, and I would say in general in society, that can do it all, like do everything at the same time, blah blah blah, have a productive and all that stuff. But I feel like there's really a thing like, so there's such as too much, and I think we really are almost scared of like feeling or appearing lazy, I think. And so what I want to just tell you is, like, don't be afraid to not do it all. Like, it's okay, and it's so much better, and you're gonna feel so much better when you really find a nice gentle rhythm, and it's gonna seem a lot more impressive to those around you when they're saying, oh, you're still doing that, or you've been doing that for a while, or I've noticed that you're always here at the same time, you always make it to the gym, your family seems so happy, whatever it may be. Just dial it in a little bit. Like, it doesn't have to be exploding. Like, you don't have to do all this stuff at the same time. You don't have to set PRs at the gym, whatever, get married, get a promotion. I mean, if it happens, that's cool, but I don't think that should necessarily be the goal. Just look for something. If you feel overwhelmed, just take a breath, maybe write some stuff down, and really, like, just stop for a second and really make up your mind and realize, come clear, as to what it really is that you're doing. Because if you're just kind of running around pleasing people, doing this and that, that's not going to do anyone good. And especially if you're in an industry like myself, for example, as a personal trainer, like if I don't take care of myself good enough and kind of find that work-life balance, which is difficult in my opinion to do, gotten better over the years, but it's still challenging at times, then that also will reflect on your clients or the people that you work with. And so even though it might seem paradoxical, but sometimes doing less, I'm even going to say oftentimes doing less but qualitative effort and work or work output is going to give you more, and you don't have to spend as much time on it. It's like you can write an email really full focus for 20 minutes better than when you dig around for an hour and a half trying to word things right. Just like focus in, put your phone away, just zone in for a little bit. Basically, to wrap it all up, if you've been stuck in a rut recently, or you feel overwhelmed, take a breath, think about what you're doing, why you're doing it, where are you trying to go, and do you have too many things going on at the same time? And just break it down and really ask yourself, if I would do this for the next 6 months, would that stress me out? And if you can say, no, I can probably do that, that's good. And if you're like, well, it depends on the week, then it's probably too much. All right, so don't rush things. Just take your time, figure out what has the biggest priority to you. And if it's not fitness, that is okay. Okay? It doesn't have to be like that. I do fully believe that fitness should be 100% incorporated in your weekly schedule. Maybe not daily, but weekly at least. And you just do the best you can. Okay? So just wanted to go out there and say that. I hope this helps some of you guys. I'm going to be looking to start this up again, because kind of talking about this is hopefully fun. And I'm hoping maybe I can, again, help some people for mental barriers or maybe some sticky points that you guys might have been experiencing. So hopefully those tips have helped a little bit. And it's Thursday, but wish you guys a good weekend and tune in again next week.